What's up, guys? Cody here today with a pipe game. So this pipe game I'm going to be using as kind of like an educational commentary for roaming on support. Pike is, in my opinion, one of the best supports for roaming in this meta right now. And roaming on support is something that's super useful right now because a lot of times the game isn't decided in bot lane. Most of your games aren't going to be decided whether you win or lose from the bot lane. The games are going to be decided from what the mid, top, and junglers do. Mostly mid and jungle. So because of that, if you can spend more time focusing your efforts on helping the mid and your mid laner and your jungler, you're going to be able to win more games. The problem is that obviously you can't be there all the time because you have your own laner that you have to help. And we can't just leave our bot laner out to dry because then we're giving the enemy free gold and we're essentially just deciding that we're going to fight a 4v5. But that's what this is about. So this game, I'm up against a Jhin Morgana, and I have an Ezreal as my bot laner. Morgana is a very difficult matchup for Pyke because of her spell shield. So, and I picked Pyke into this because I wanted to roam, and I didn't really care about my lane. So because of that, I didn't really care about Morgana. She's going to be annoying in just team fights and whatnot, and you're going to see that she's just going to be a nuisance in the laning phase. But right now, you can see that I'm trying to make a play happen before she gets spell shield. She took her W level 1, and she's more than likely going to take her Q level 2. So because I know that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be trying to look for a pick like right now. I'm not going to end up getting one, and in fact, Ezreal is going to end up dying. You can see that I get a lot of damage down here, but Ezreal's been zoned off. He doesn't have any health. So yeah, Morgana's gonna live, and in this situation, I shouldn't have used my Ignite, but I wanted to Ignite. I will sometimes use just to get them off of my ADC. Also, I kind of killed Ezreal there, kind of didn't. Yeah, that happened. So not a great start, but most of the times I don't really care about my bot laner. Like I said, I would like to focus more on my other lanes. Add on to that, Ezreal's not really the greatest ADC in my opinion. He struggles to deal damage at pretty much every stage of the game, and I just don't like him when I usually have a really aggressive playstyle. So, the enemy bot lane backed, and Ezreal's back in lane. You can see that I'm going to roam right now, okay? The enemy bot lane is going to take a while to get back here. And I really don't care about Ezreal right now. Ezreal is going to be getting this wave about the midway point. Eventually pushing it. But right now I can see that Orianna is about 40% HP, okay? And Vel'Koz is a little bit better off. But the wave is pushing to Orianna, especially if Vel'Koz keeps pushing. So I'm looking to roam here, and I can see that with the situation that this wave is in, I'm probably not going to be able to get a gank off. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going and putting a ward down in the enemy jungle, and then I'm going to show my face mid just because I plan on either just running straight back bot or backing and then going straight back bot. Okay? And all I'm really doing here is trying to get vision and just trying to see if I can just get a cheeky pick mid lane. So I see that I find Jarvan, which lets my team know that, hey, Jarvan's on the red side of the map. And I wasn't able to get anything else down there, but I do have Ghost Poro this game. I should mention my runes this game. I have Electrocute, Cheap Shot, Ghost Poro, Relentless Hunter, Water Walking, and Celerity. Water Walking and Celerity are super useful for getting the I'm gonna pause this real fast. Water Walking and Celerity are super useful in getting around the map. And celerity just gives, move speed and damage. Ghost Pour is something that I've been using a lot lately. It's just an additional ward that I can put down on the map. And yeah, just the runes I've taken are to give me as much damage as I can possibly get this game, and to be able to move around the map fast. So normally, like, you wouldn't see a lot of Pykes take Electrocute over Aftershock, and especially in a game where, like, we don't really have any tanks, nor do we really have any good engage here. So Pykes, if I'm gonna be like I'm gonna be a main source of engage, then I gotta make sure I know what to do. Okay, so right here, you can see that I just left the lane. Ezreal just got back, and you can see I'm just now leaving again. Why did I leave Ezreal by himself? One, because I don't like Ezreal anymore. Two, I think Jhin, my suspicion is that Jhin is kind of just sitting back really far. The enemy suspects that something is going to happen here. Also, you can see that the enemy is completely blind right now. They don't have any wards on the map at this point in time, okay? So, I'm in a really good position to gank, okay? The enemy doesn't know I'm here. I know that they don't have a ward in this bush because Jarvan didn't ward it. And he didn't, like, chase me out of the bush when I was backing in there. So I'm coming mid. Ezreal can handle himself down on bot lane. I think at this point he has a tier. I know he's gonna be fine. He can farm under tower. The enemy shouldn't really try to press any advantage on them under tower because they don't know where I am at this point of time. They will once I show my face mid. But yeah. Also at this point of time, it is nice to know where the enemy jungler is when you're roaming. He's at this point backed. Which I wouldn't have known. But when you go for a roam, you gotta remember, you gotta have knowledge of kind of like how you would a jungler. You gotta know how well is this gank going to work. So I know that Orianna is pushed up right now, so she's going to be wanting to get these last two minions. Okay, Vel'Koz has a slow and a knockup that we can utilize. Also, if the enemy jungler was to show up, Xin Zhao is at the Wolves right now. He's honestly not that close to being done, since he's only killed half of it so far. But he's here if we need him to help clean up. Like I said, Ezreal will be fine by himself. So, let's see how this plays out. So I'm gonna cut this in half. So I pinged the Vel'Koz that I was coming. He zones Orianna off towards him. Let's jump back 15. Let's jump back half second. Okay. So when I come here, I'm pinging that I am gonna show up here. What happens is Vel'Koz goes to see if he can get a knock up on the Orianna. Okay. Orianna, in order to dodge this, moves forward. This is exactly what I want. She also gets the last bit of minions and harasses the Vel'Koz. So right now, I'm coming in. She doesn't even know I'm here yet because the effect hasn't shown up on her. Or it should be showing up any second. Or it's bugged on the replay system. That's what it is. So at this point, she knows 100% that I'm here. Okay? But she doesn't know what's going to happen. So at this point, if you're Orianna, you should be backing off, but she doesn't do that. And because she's not backing off, what I can do is I can hold my Q to use it for its slow purpose instead of the pull. Pyke's Q also does more damage if it's not charged. When you just do the slow version, it does more damage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk up right on top of her, and I'm going to Q her, which is going to slow her. Vel'Koz also gets his slow off, and Orianna, I don't know why the game did that, but Orianna, in an attempt to I knew she was going to start walking away, so then I E'd and was trying to match her movements. She decides that she's going to flash, and she's going to get away from that. So, all in all, that's a really good gank for me, because this tells me that I can now come back and gank her again. Also, I ping my team that, hey, she just used her flash. So now the Xin Zhao knows and the Vel'Koz knows that if they catch out Orianna, they have a really good chance of killing her because all she has is her heal now. And you can see Ezreal's managing down here. The CS right now for him, he's a wave behind, but there's still this wave for him to pick up right here. Also, Xin Zhao is now done doing his wolves, so he's decided that he's going to come down bot, which is a really good play. And Orianna, knowing that I just left mid, is trying to make a play down bot, it seems, or get vision or something. It looks like she was trying to make a play. If we look here, Jarvan's not around here, which is a very big mistake on their part. If Jarvan was like coming through the tri-bush here, this would be a really good play for the blue team. However, Jarvan is up top right now because it looks like he wanted to make a play on the Vel'Koz, which is that's very poor communication on the enemy's part. Okay, now the Orianna does not have flash, and she is now in between Vel'Koz, me, and Xin Zhao. Her only help is going to be this Morgana and Jhin, who right now are busy dealing with the lane. Jhin is completely in the lane right now. Morgana's slightly in the river at this point, but if she tries to walk up and help Orianna, we kill her. And if no one helps Orianna, Orianna's dead anyways. So yeah. So, what's going to happen here? We see Orianna showing up. I know she doesn't have flash, so I'm pinging that we go and get her. The Vel'Koz, I should change this back to red. The Vel'Koz, is also noticing this, and he's coming now. He's coming this way. I land my Q on Orianna, and then I follow it up immediately with my E. This ensures that we're going to be able to get her here. Morgana tries to save her with her spell shield, and Orianna has to burn her heal, and she's gonna die eventually. I think she might not die here exactly, but she now has absolutely no summoners. We've taken pressure off of bot lane at the same time. Ezreal's gonna come down here and try to get this. He's gonna just barely miss, unfortunately. And yeah, at this point in time, Jarvan is trying to suicide in to get this Vel'Koz, but he's already used his Dragon Flag, or Flag and Drag, whatever it's called. And because of that, he now doesn't have anything. He uses his flash, and I know he can't dash anymore. And Xin Zhao gets the knockup, and I'm gonna kill him with my Q. And the bot lane wasn't in position to go and help because they were too busy trying to kill the Ezreal, who did have to use his flash to get out of that. But still, you can see that my roam right here made such a big difference. We ended up burning both of our summoners, and the enemy team was forced to come and help the Orianna that was out of position and didn't have anything. At this point, they have no vision in this river aside from this tri-bush, or this bush, I think. They have this vision. They have vision in this bush, but that's not really what we care about. Xin Zhao's not going to come bot at all unless it's with me, and if he's coming with me, then we can very easily make a play on here, regardless of whether or not they have vision. So, we also get the scuttle at this point in time, and I'm going to notice that there is this ward here, and I'm going to end up getting it. So now they don't have any vision down bot, okay? Also, this Orianna doesn't have flash or heal anymore, and this Vel'Koz is going to end up killing her right here with his ultimate. So, really good job from the Vel'Koz. Also, it should be noted that Swain can't really do much in this game because he is up against a Heimerdinger. So, even though he's like performing pretty well against, even if he's performing pretty well against Heimer, he still can't leave lane without the threat of Heimer just fast pushing, just pushing really fast and potentially getting his tower getting a big chunk of damage down on him. The one thing that you'll notice is I'm missing out on a lot of CS, okay? Yeah, I'm missing out on a lot of minions, which means I'm missing out on a lot of XP. Okay, so this one of time, I'm going to sit bot for a while to make sure that I can get that experience, to make sure I can catch back up on experience. While I've been gone, even though Ezreal's been in like kind of a rough matchup, he's caught back up on XP, or on minions, I mean, and he's ahead in experience points. So he's now a level ahead, which means that he's gonna have more health, more mana, and he's gonna be able to survive a lot better against this enemy team. So Xin Zhao was coming bot at this point in time. Ezreal kind of got caught up by a lot of stuff. Doesn't matter. They've already used a lot of their tools to try to get Ezreal. Morgana's spell shield is on cooldown. Okay. Even though the thing is kind of broken and doesn't properly show it. Morgana's spell shield is on cooldown. And Xin Zhao is coming up here. This means that we can easily get Jhin and Morgana more than likely. Especially because they don't have summoners at all. Meanwhile, I still have my flash. I go to try to zone off them and cut their path off, and what ends up happening is they just end up pathing back towards our tower, and we get them. So because we just got those kills, I know that if we push, I'm gonna be able to go back and grab some gold, and go back and grab some items with the gold that they have. Also want to make sure that we push this really fast as well. I want to make sure that this is on their turret. The reason being is because if this gets on their turret, by the time I come back from roaming, what will happen is that the wave will more than likely be back to our turrets. Also, we bring down Jarvan here to clear the wave, which speeds up the process of the wave getting back, but it's not a big deal. So this point of time, I went to look to see if I could go top, but since I was already gonna go up there, so I didn't need to be there. But normally you wouldn't go top as a support just because that's such a long distance away. However, the top laner isn't expecting the support to show up there either, so it can end up being a really good play. So, roaming again. Having vision is really nice here. Like I said, when you go for a gank, it's nice to know where the enemy jungler is. So I come back over here to roam, just see what was going on and whatnot, maybe get some vision down. I think at this point in time, I still don't have, I don't have my medallion complete, my ancient coin complete, because I've been roaming so much at this point in time. But the Orianna isn't in lane. I think right now, yeah, she's walking back to lane right now. So Jarvan is getting ready to make a play, which is smart from him. However, once again, they lack vision. They don't even have a single ward in the river right now. Okay? Meanwhile, we had a ward at his Raptors, which he passed by. So I know Jarvan's here, sitting here, waiting to gank. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit back here and wait for Jarvan to go in. And Vel'Koz is playing pretty smart and understands this. Okay, so when Jarvan goes in here, you can see he can't. Let me just double check. Yeah, he can't see that I'm here. Okay, so he's gonna come over here, and by the time he notices me, it's too late. And he's actually already fully committed, and I completely grab him, stun him up, we knock him up, we hit him with literally everything we've got, and Vel'Koz is just gonna incinerate him with his ultimate. Meanwhile, Orianna is just now getting back to the lane. So Orianna was unable to do anything here. Jarvan went in. Jarvan probably went in a bit too early. But once again, he didn't know I was sitting there. If I wasn't there, that probably would have ended up being a really good play on their part. But I was there. And so that's just, understanding like how the enemy is going to play. So I go in here, just try to get some vision down and whatnot. And I know that the enemy is going, I know that I can potentially make a play on this Orianna because I still have flash. I have not used my flash yet this game. And I end up bringing the Morgana over here because they saw that I was taking out a ward. So I'm trying to figure out where the enemy bot lane is going to be right now. Because if Orianna is pushing up like she's doing right now, I want to go back and get Orianna. But if not, then I'm going to go back bot. Ezreal, once again, is doing fine by himself bot. The tower's not too hurt. It's only at 2,500. So the enemy's hasn't even gotten it down to a third of its HP yet. Or to 2/3 of its HP yet. But the Orianna looked like she was playing a bit more passive and whatnot. So I decided I was going to go back to lane. I did, however, leave a Ghost Pour in the bush. to act as a ward and to also give me some extra AD. When you can get the ward down when you can get the ghost ward down in enemy territory, you really do want to do it. It's easy for a jungler to get it down in enemy territory. However, I wish the camera would stop moving it. However, when you're a support and you're taking it, it's a lot harder because it's a lot less safe to be walking into the enemy jungle and sitting in a bush for a whole second instead of just straight up just leaving a ward. At this point, at this stage of the game, I don't have my Sightstone, and all I have is just my War Trinket. So yeah. So at this point in time, I'm gonna sit back bot again. Gonna try to get some money for my support quests, and just kind of see what I can do. The enemy was down in XP at this point in time, so I'm trying to see if I can get the Morgana. I wanted to try to kill Morgana before she hit level 6, just so that way she wouldn't be able to use her ult and use the stopwatch that she has. Because if I hook Morgana, she's going to ult and stopwatch and throw out all of her abilities, and it's going to be really annoying. Also, at this point in time, it is crucial that I am bot lane right now, because it ensures that the lane stays at least even. And the reason why this is important is because our Xin Zhao is taking the dragon. Also, there's nothing to do in mid lane right now, so that's another reason. But little things like that. It's also good to note that the Jarvan is topside right now. So if I really do want to try to make a play on this Morgana, now would be a good time to do it. Which I'm going to try to... I'm trying to look for a play. Considering that Morgana is half health, I could potentially try to flash on top of her with a stun or something and try to kill with the ult. But I do have to remember that she does have stopwatch, and because of that, I play very... I play a lot safer and a lot more reserved in my in what I want to do. Because like right now she's super low and I want to try to make a play on her, but at the same time I have to remember that she does have that stopwatch, and if I try to tower dive her, it could easily result in a bad play and me dying. Since I shows up here, he should have just walked around the backside of the turret with me, but he didn't do that. Swain TP's in, which is unfortunate. However, this does mean Heimer can kind of survive a bit better in the top lane. Heimer's died 5 times, which is really not good. But Heimer pushes pretty easily, and he's going to be able to apply pressure in the top lane. Also, at this point in time, I had to burn my flash to make sure that the Swain didn't get me. And yeah, so I'm going to once again be looking for a roam. I'm keeping tabs on where everybody is, and I can see that the Swain is starting to sit mid. Swain is a much harder target to kill than Orianna, especially one that has a completed Rod of Ages. Also, the Jarvan caught me out, and I think he cleared a ward of mine, or he got the Scryer's Boom. But now there are 3 people mid, and the support is still unaccounted for, so I can assume that the support is going to be coming around here soon. Yeah, Morgana's over here. She's pathing towards the mid lane right now. This means that Ezreal is in bot lane by himself, and he can do whatever he wants. He can push, he can catch up. They're already pretty even right now. Jhin has an extra kill over Ezreal, but Ezreal has caught up a lot on the farm because of the Xin Zhao coming down and ganking, and just of different things. So yeah, right now I can't really make much of a play here because of the fact that there's so many people around, and I assume that the Morgana is going to show up. The Xin Zhao finds a pick onto the Jarvan, and I'm gonna E to get up closer to him, and then ult. And the ult didn't kill him, but it did allow Xin Zhao to follow it for the kill. Unfortunately, Heimer did die here. But I do land my Q onto the Swain, and this ensures that we kill the Swain. Unfortunately, the Xin Zhao also dies. At this point in time, the bot lane is half health right now, so if I can make a play on them, that would be great. The Orianna does, however, come down, though, so I have to back off. But Vel'Koz is super fed right now. He's got a Rylai's, which I think a Luden's probably would have been a bit better, but whatever. And yeah, I noticed that the enemy bot lane is 5 back down right now, so I ping the Ezreal, I'm coming to the Tribush, and I want him to be there. The bot lane, it plays this pretty smart and takes that, and they show up here, and the Jarvan is coming right now. I didn't know the Jarvan was going to be here, and by the time I saw him, it was too late, and yeah. So, that was a lack of vision on my part. However, in mid lane, we almost have mid turret now because of the skirmishes that we have been having, and because I've gotten Vel'Koz so fed, it has lets Vel'Koz just kind of push really easily. The lane swap from the Swain and the Orianna makes this a little bit more difficult though, but it's nothing that we can't deal with. And as you can see, once again, I'm roaming. There's no tower left in, so now there's no tower left in bot lane, so Ezreal can pretty much, like, if Ezreal wants to like back off, back to his tower, it can be a little bit of a trouble if the enemy jungler is there to help as well. But that would mean that there's 3 people bot lane, so I can safely assume that I could roam. And if I do roam, then the only way we're really going to lose is if both Jhin and Morgana show up. And even then, we can probably still make a play and get out. Ezreal is, I think, just going to sit bot and power farm a bit. Also, if the enemy bot lane was to show up down here, once again, this wave is pushing onto the tower. So Ezreal's going to be under tower just farming just fine. So I don't have to worry about him at all. Also, at this point in time, I've almost got my Serrated Dirk finish. I didn't make a mention of this, but when I do pick up Mobies, I definitely make sure that I look for a play around the map. Because I am moving so fast. Along with the fact that my runes are set up to roam this game. I literally, Relentless Hunter is set up to roam. Water Walking and Celerity are both set up to roam. I literally have set myself up to roam this game, and that's all I wanted to do, was roam, roam, and roam. And you can see how well it is paying off for me. I am literally 3-1 and 4. I've been part of 7 of the 12 kills in the game. So I've been more than 50%. The only one that's done just as much as me is the jungler, which makes sense because we should both be moving around the map just as much. So we catch out Jarvan. Jarvan unfortunately gets the knockup with Xin Zhao, but I think Jarvan still dies anyways. Orianna ults me, which is really stupid on her part. And at this point, the enemy bot lane has shown up here, but it is a numbers advantage for us. And Xin Zhao is taking no damage because of his ultimate, which is really good. At this point in time, the enemy bot lane got super low. I tried to go in for the execute kill, but unfortunately the Jhin dies. So I'm just going in here. I'm trying to get my team to come back and help me. However, they're a bit preoccupied right now. So I need one of them to show up and help me, because this Swain still has his ultimate, which he's going to use, and he's going to be able to start healing back up a lot. And I don't have Ignite. If I had Ignite here, he would be dead. Yeah. So I'm trying to make a play here. I land the Q, and damn. Unfortunately, the wolf killed me. But still, that's a good play from us. We got tower. We killed a lot of them, and only I died. We're also gonna get the Rift Herald here, which is not really gonna be put to that good of use. And Ezreal has just been power farming bot. So he's almost got Triforce. I think he could actually probably buy it at this point in time. And he hasn't really been doing much, like I said. Bot lane doesn't really have an impact on the game. And even though we've been winning everywhere else, the only difference that we have here is that Ezreal is up on farm. But it probably still deals less damage than Jhin. And yeah. So. Whew. That's going to be pretty much it. I'm going to end it here. This game kind of goes on a bit longer than what I wanted it to. But pretty much, I wanted to show this game as I wanted to show off this game for a reason as to like why roaming is so effective right now. Just roaming as a support is just super useful. You have a much higher impact on the game if like if you're wondering like, you know, how can I do more on a support, a champion that relies entirely on my team. The answer is try roaming more. You know, if your mid lane and your ADC or whatever are just idiots and losing, then there's not much you can do about it. But if you can roam properly, if you can like especially coordinate ganks with your mid laner, with your jungler really, if you can coordinate ganks with your jungler and if you can roam very well and do it where like, you know, to the point where like your bot laner isn't like punished too hard for it, then it can have a very big impact on the game, since your jungler and your mid laner have the highest impact on the game, have the most to contribute to the outcome of the game. So yeah, that's gonna be it. I do end up winning this game, but you can see that we have a pretty good advantage of this right now, but there's still a lot of towers left over, and it kind of goes on for just a bit too long. There's just a few plays here and there where like we just kind of screw around. We do end up getting a bunch of the dragons and whatnot. There's a few plays that are pretty nice, but I think there's one play that I was pretty happy with. But yeah, I showed off everything I wanted to show off. So so I can't find it. This might be it. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. This is a lot easier than me making like a guide or something like that. Taking a game and showing like, okay, this is like what I was doing this game, and like this is like kind of like my game plan going into it. Giving just like giving a commentary on my game, but giving like more of an educational commentary than just a play-by-play. So yeah, this is good. Thanks guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.